Hello everyone! So before getting into today's video, I just wanted to let you know that I have some super exciting news, and that is that I started an Etsy shop. So here I will be selling digital downloads of my prints that I make for my bullet journal each month, and hopefully I will eventually be selling physical copies of these, but for now it's just digital. So if you are interested in purchasing any, I will leave a link in the description, and you can also find me on Etsy at Abigail Julianne. So let's get back to the video. So I have been bullet journaling for 3 years now, and over that time I have accumulated 3 very full journals, and I have created many weekly spreads where I write out to-do lists, events, and document the things that are going on in my life at that time. Every month I take you guys along with me as I plan for the month ahead and set up my theme. So for my July bullet journal setup, I did this sea turtle ocean type of theme where I did my calendar, my cover page, and all those page sections. But I realized that I never really show you what I continue to do throughout the month once those initial pages have been made. So today I'm going to be showing you how I make my weekly bullet journal spreads. So let's begin by talking about the supplies that I like to use. One thing that I use almost every single spread is Pinterest photos. So I find these from Pinterest, I just search something that's related to my theme, I collect those on a Word document, and then I print them on either just printer paper or photo paper. Another thing that I like to use is fine liners. So these are some of my favorites. These are Micron fine liners in the 005 and the Pin Micron fine liner. As you can see, the tips of them are a little bit different. So the Pin one, it has a plastic nib, and then the other one has a metal one. So I like to use them for differing kind of techniques. And this is a Papermate Flare pen, which is similar to the Micron Pin pen. This is a Tombow marker that I use for calligraphy. And then here's just another look at the Papermate Flare one. And I also love to use brush markers in my weekly spreads. These specific ones are from Tombow. I like them because they are dual-ended, so one end has a calligraphy side and then one has a tip that's for monoline writing. So next, I like to use a white gel pen. So I have a variety of favorites of these. This is just the Jelly Roll gel pen, and this is great for highlights and adding other details. Here I'm also using a metallic pen. This one's really great because it's kind of like a paint marker, so it can easily write over photos, which is something fun to add to the spread. I'm also using some tape and then some scrapbooking paper, so I have this light blue stuff, and then I'm also using some printer paper for some other sticker type of things, and lastly some washi tape. This stuff is from Amazon, but you can really get it at any craft store. So I also love adding stickers to my weekly spreads, but it's hard to find good ones, and then if I do, they're often kind of expensive and I always want to use a lot of them, so I'm gonna make my own. They're kind of not really stickers, but they look similar to stickers once you have them in your actual journal. So I'm just going to be using a fine liner to draw out this leaf type of design. So I started with the Papermate Flare just because it has a little bit of a thicker tip, and then I'm using a skinnier one to do some little details in the leaves. I'm also doing this other design. I don't really know what this is, some type of floral leaf or sprig. I'm doing the same thing with the thicker marker on the outside and then adding details with the Micron 005 pen. And then lastly, I'm doing this like little ocean circle doodle. I'm not really sure what it is, but I traced a washi tape roll and then used that kind of as the base for the sticker. So once that's done, to make it look more like a sticker, I just like to put some packing tape over top of it just so it's shiny, and then it also makes it a little bit more durable. So I place it over. I really did not succeed in the second piece of tape. It got all bent and screwed up, and then I took out some scissors and cut around those just to make it look like a sticker even though it's not. And once I finish that, I'm just going to glue them into my bullet journal. Obviously, it's not a real sticker. It doesn't have a sticker back on it, but it's a really cheap and easy way to make kind of faux stickers. You can also add sticky stuff on the back with a different technique using packing tape, but that is a lot more time consuming, so I wanted to keep it simple by doing this. And now finally on to the actual spread. So I got my bullet journal out and I played around with some different Pinterest photos, choosing ones that I liked. Obviously, it's a very blue and beachy themed, so I would have liked to print these out a little bit larger, but I guess it just kind of happened that way. So I chose these three. I'm going to put those top two together, and then behind it I'm going to use some of this light blue scrapbooking paper. I like to rip the scrapbooking paper just to make it look a little bit more textured, and it kind of reminds me of like a wave in the ocean, so I think it suits the theme really nicely. So I'm just going to play around with how it looks and layer everything, and I ended up putting these two pictures beside each other with the scrapbooking paper underneath. Usually I would use glue to put this in, but all of my glue sticks were out, so I'm just using tape and like rolling it up and then sticking it on. You could also use double-sided tape for this. I think that would be a great thing to use, but I don't have any and this worked fine. It kind of didn't stay down as good as like using a glue stick, but it gets the job done. And next I'm pulling out the washi tape. This stuff is brown, and I guess blue and brown is a kind of an odd combination, but it matched the sea turtles that I had painted on the first page, so that's why I used it. And then I glued in one of those faux stickers that I made, and I think it looks like a sticker except for that the edges aren't completely down, so I like it, and I think it's a super easy way to add a little bit extra details into your weekly spreads. So next I'm going to add a title to the top because I'm in the month of July. I wrote July out with that metallic pen. As you can see, it goes over the photo really nicely, and then I just darkened the edges. And on the other page I played around with the layout with the ripped up scrapbooking paper and the photo of the water. So I taped in that piece of paper the bottom, and then I layered the photo on top. And again, I'm using the same washi tape to kind of tape down one of the corners. I like to do this. I think the addition of different layers of different supplies looks really nice. And then I tried to figure out which sticker I wanted to put here, and I ended up going with this floral thing. I don't really know what it is. So this is what the spread is looking like so far, and then I'm going to use some washi tape in the corner and layer that with a sticker. I think this always looks really nice when you combine those two together. So now we are going on to the days of the week. So this is something that I like to do last, just so I kind of have all of my photos laid out and all of the little cute decorations are on the page already, and then I just fit those in wherever I have room. So I ended up fitting 4 days of the week on the left side and then 3 plus highlights on the right. So I'm just doing this monoline type of cursive writing with a black Tombow marker. This is one of the brush markers on the other side, so not the brush end side. And I think this font is really nice and simple, and then I have just enough space underneath all of those to add in a to-do list, my events, or whatever I am doing for that day. And I also added a highlight section because I think it's fun to look back at all of the highlights for the year once the year is complete and to remember all those things. After all of the days of the week are on the spread, I like to look at the page and kind of see what needs some more decoration on it. So I thought the bottom could use a little something. So I'm using this light blue Tombow brush marker to add this wave type of design that's flowing from the left page all the way to the right. And one of the last things that I do is add the dates to the page. Sometimes I completely forget, but in this case I'm using the silver marker, and I just referred back to my monthly calendar and added that all into my page. And then I'm also adding in these little sparkle type of designs, so it's kind of like this X shape and little stars around. I think this is really cute, and I think this always adds a lot to all the pages. So I'm also adding a drop shadow to the header of July. So in my little example with the drop shadow, it's kind of like an extra little thing to make the font pop some more, but it's completely optional, and it does take a little bit of time to figure out how drop shadows work. But I'm adding that in with the black Tombow marker. that is the completed spread for my bullet journal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out my Etsy shop. The link is right on the screen, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!